ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. Just to give a brief introduction about His Excellency Mr. Badr Al-Awadi. So he's currently the Kuwaiti Ambassador to the UK, and previously he held the role of Kuwaiti Ambassador to South Korea, and he was also the Kuwaiti Ambassador to Cuba, as well as non-resident ambassador to the Dominican Republic and Antigua. And he also previously served in the Kuwaiti mission in both New York and Paris to the United Nations. So can we please give a warm welcome to Mr. Badr Al-Awadi.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
So our first question, I think everyone's excited about this. From your point of view, how is the coronation of the king?
The coronation. Oh, I'm so lucky. That's the first question everybody asks me when I start to come here. Ask me, you will see the king. You will go to the coronation. So it's really historical. I'm so proud. Before I go to that, let me thank everybody and thank you for inviting me. I'm so proud to see young people here and this energy. It's really give me hope, and that's we are on good track, especially when we see Kuwaitis and people from our area. Thank you very much for the dean also and for university. Yes, coronation was amazing, very historical. I'm so proud that we an embassy part of this historical, event. Historical because we prepare for it. We are there. We see daily how the preparation going on with the FCDO, with the palace. That's by itself. It's give you an emotional and really every day I remember that when I see the TV now, believe me, I said, wow, I was part of that. Yeah. I remember they talked to us about this interest and this interest. Moreover, it's for me when my leadership, the Crown Prince Sheikh Mish'al Ahmed Jabr Sabah, he is part of that. He was presented the Emir of Kuwait, and to be in the coronation, it's by itself historical. Taken in the consideration as my knowledge, and I saw it when happened at the funeral. I was there, and then the coronation. How close the relationship between the two royal families. I hear how they talk to each other. I know the details about each other. This makes me proud, and I'm proud to be ambassador here, and proud to be, part of the coronation. And I congratulate UK government and the king, really for this success. It was success and very historical. We are so proud to be part of it.
Oh, that's amazing. We have a follow-up question. So speaking about the coronation and the king, how would you describe the relationship between Kuwait and the UK?
It's very important. I need days to talk about the relation because we've been together now like 124 years. And we always say it, and I keep saying it to my colleagues British and then anywhere I go, we have a lovely story of relationship, a really, really lovely story. We can say it. There's always positive things in the relationship, and that's why we always take this positive and we build on it, and we go up and up every day. And when I ask my superior there about the relation, and they talk to me about how strategic UK for us since before the independence. Remember 1899 we were under the protection of UK,
yeah. And
then we have our independent from UK, and we keep our relation. UK is important country in terms of preserving the stability and the security of Kuwait, and the history and we have a lot of historical moment that I can prove that's how important is it.
Yeah.
Coming to be ambassador of Kuwait, don't forget, I became ambassador after a dean of ambassadors, Ambassador Khalid Waisan, who had been here 30 years as a dean of diplomatic corps. To be ambassador after a legend like Ambassador Khalid is very important. But the relation, it's strong, and it's gone always in the positive track. Every year, every month, we find an aspect to enhance our relation. We take an opportunity, and our colleague in the UK, they help us a lot. For instance, to give you just an example, I've been here 1 year now. We initiate the strategic dialogue, and we agreed in many aspects of cooperation, cybersecurity, a new one. We have always the defense, the education, we have the development and business investment, but also we are very proud and happy every time we open a new sector of cooperation. We just agreed to talk about how to enhance our relation and cooperation in the cybersecurity, in technology, food security, which is very important also for Kuwait. Besides preserving our traditional cooperation, which is huge in other aspects, I can talk about the investment. Kuwait investment in the UK is very important, and it's one of the major in our relation, beside the defense and other cooperation. And I will give you why it's important. This year, we are celebrating 70 years of creating Kuwait Investment Office. Kuwait Investment Office, established here in 1953, and it was the core of what they call now the sovereign fund. So people asking a lot, why Kuwaiti fund is the oldest sovereign fund? This is important, and the story of it is very beautiful. Many journalists, many academics ask me, why is Kuwait fund is the oldest fund in the sovereign fund in the world? And the story came from UK, and that's what beauty of it. I'm proud about it. And they told me how before Kuwait independence, the Queen Elizabeth, the late Queen Elizabeth II, talked to our ruler and Sheikh Abdullah Sam at that time, and talked about how we, after the independence of Kuwait, how you can invest your money for the oil. And here they came with the idea, let's open an office in London, 1953, before our independence, and this office to start to invest the money of oil here, and we became the oldest. And we preserve it. Now we're talking about 70 years. And every year we open an aspect of investment in London and outside London, but London's our home. So that's how important our business relationship. This is very important, and that's why we're celebrating this year 70 years, and looking forward to open a new field of investment. You know, we are in a plan now, talking with our friend the UK, to open a new kind of investment in various areas, not concentrate in one only what we have traditionally, because we believe in our investment here. Yeah. And also, we're trying to bring the UK companies to start look at Kuwait also, to participate with us in our vision. And we have also a lot of mega projects, and we need the UK to look at Kuwait also as a place for our investment. This is very important, and this year we are, we started many things. We started with the steering committee, which is, in Kuwait, discussed many, aspects of cooperation and defense and education and business. And then we went to the strategic dialogue, which we initiated in March, and then it came a coordination, and we are preparing now with the 70 years of Kuwait Investment Authority office here in London. So we are in good track, and I'm so proud to be part of it.
Thank you so much. Honestly, some of the facts I didn't even know, even though I was Kuwaiti, so very proud.
For business people, it's very important.
Exactly. So you touched a little bit on the business aspect of it. So Kuwait has its own Vision 2035, where it plans to be a trade and financial hub. Yes. So how is it planning to do so, and how will it affect not only Kuwait, but also the rest of the GCC?
Of course, yeah. I think, Prince Khalid, before me talk, he make it easy for me. We see our Vision 2023. It's part of that vision and the other vision in the area. We didn't see that we have a vision and other countries, their vision is a challenge. We see it as a complement. We complement each other. And we discover that, when a country in GCC in the one country GCC gonna have a vision, gonna go economically well, we must be well, because it will affect us also positively. And that's why when Prince Khalid talked about, I was listening very careful, and I'm going to listen to our colleague from Saudi Arabia about NEOM and other projects. We are happy with that. We are so proud of it in Kuwait. That's we, doing a vision and also, having a lead country before us that's starting that, and we are working with them in the same track because in the end it's going to complement each other. It's very important. 2020, our vision 2035. It's really vision, and also it's as a goal that we are working at now daily. And it started from 10 years ago. We discovered that the most important it's to enhance our infrastructure, and also human resources, like a new generation like you, to see them to enhance their education. We find it, for me, is the most important pillar we have in our vision. That will take me to talk about how we enhance the human resources by education, and I will talk about it later.
Yeah. So you spoke a bit about education. So the Kuwait Cultural Office has a big role here in the UK. So can you tell us more about that, please?
Yes. As I said, education, it's one of our goal to target it in our vision 2035. And to give you an example, we have here, we are a small, our population is not big in Kuwait, but we have almost 10,000 students in the UK. And this is give us an idea how Kuwait concentrate in the human resources. We find out, training, education, constantly, always. It's the best way to enhance your economy, to enhance your life. And I saw it with my, with daily life, with my diplomat, with my in the ministry, with my kids. The more they go to training, their aspect of the understanding for the life and the development is much better. And that's why we in each institution in Kuwait, we always have a place or a goal to think how to enhance our employees by education. Send them out, let them study, understand, and come back and improve the quality life and the quality work in Kuwait. And of course, the culture office here, they are doing. I'm so proud of them. We have Dr. Jinan here. I'm so happy that she's here from the culture office, and also her colleagues who are working so hard to supervise with us the 10,000 students here to be sure they are having a good education. And also it's also going to be, it's part of our linked with the UK. You asked me before about the relation. I found it, and I tell my colleagues in the FCDO or everywhere I go, you have 10,000 students, it's 10,000 ambassadors for Kuwait and UK in the future. So in the future, be sure that you have a Kuwaiti there who study. They will still, it. You love. My daughter graduated from here. She still talk about London. She don't only talk about UK. So you can feel how important this is for the relation and the future of relation.
Now that we're talking about the UK, you're currently the Kuwaiti ambassador to the UK, and you're previously the Kuwaiti ambassador to South Korea. So can you tell us some of the similarities and differences between being ambassador of both countries?
Of course, each country and each field of work have different kind of atmosphere. And if we talk politically, of course, we as ambassadors, we always look after what is the main pillar of our relation with other countries. So it's different because here in UK, it's our relation strategic is big. Also with other countries, we in Kuwait, our foreign policy, from Kuwait, as a small country, we always believe each country for us is important. Each country is important. That's why when I was ambassador in Cuba, ambassador in Dominican, ambassador in Korea, I always remember and remind my colleague there that this country is very important for us. But when you go to details, of course, each country we have an aspect of relation with them. We always concentrate, whether it's development or aid or economic. For instance, like in Korea, my main, for over there, the energy, because in Asia, energy is very important as a partnership with energy and also development, and many Korean companies who work in our infrastructure. And I think my colleagues right here know that, how much Koreans are very, very active. It's one of the fields that I follow. When I go to Havana, our relationship with cooperation and the international organization, they're very, very, very active. So we always, have a good cooperation in that field with them. So each country has its own, particular, field that we cooperate. In London, it's wide, it's strategic, and that's why we initiate the strategic dialogue. And with UK, it's really very important for us. It's a huge relationship and very strategic. It's totally different.
Amazing. So you spoke a little bit about the humanitarian aid aspect. So can you please elaborate more about Kuwait's role in the UN and even in general?
And the aid.
Yes.
Yes, this is a very important question. I think, for us, as a diplomat, and we always proud when we talk, and we hear the people talk about Kuwait as a small country, but with a big aid, contribution in the world. And I think the history prove and give Kuwait a lot of success story in terms of foreign aid. And even I hear it when I was in Korea. I was talking to Excellency Ban Ki-moon. He always mentioned to me that, Badr, Kuwait is small, but their aid is big. And he said to me, he said to his Korean friend and the world that we are so proud. That's why he was in the UN. He chose the late Emir of Kuwait, Sheikh Sabah, to be the leader of the humanitarian leader, and Kuwait as a humanitarian hub, because he believed, and the people in the UN believe how efficient we are in our aid, and humanitarian aid in specific. To give you an example, very important information, Kuwait Fund, it's established 61. It's the oldest institution, international institution who give aid after the World Bank, which is very important for us. When I hear this, they told me everywhere I go, Kuwait Development Fund is the oldest development fund in the world after the World Bank, which is very important. And from 61, Kuwait Fund, he gave aid for like 22 countries in the world, or 100 countries, past $22 billion. Myself, I was a witness of that. And I can't tell you how much I pride when I felt when I went to, for instance, I was ambassador in St. Lucia. And I present my credential. And the government took me my hand, and she told me, Ambassador, I will show you something. I said, yes. I looked at the window. She told me, do you see this road? I said, yes. I said, without this road, you can't come here. And you know who built it? She told me, Kuwait Fund built it. I was really proud about that. Really. It's, in a small country in Caribbean, and to hear that Kuwait Fund built all this road that take me to the palace. And, it's just let me feel very proud. And I felt how important is the Kuwait Fund and our aid outside. And the stories is going on. We talk about the area where I think we host many conferences for the donor countries, like for Syria, three times, and co-host one with London. For Iraq, we generate like $30 billion. And we feel, when you talk about, because I think the position of Kuwait, that's let us feel that aid and be sure that the whole region and the whole world is stable and have what they want, and we believe in our policy that, to concentrate in development, helping people, it's the best way for peace. This is basically, that's what we do. That's we always go around, see what the people need and give aid and help. It will help for sure for peace. And the latest example in Sudan, we are the first country who start a flight for humanitarian aid for Sudan directly, and the people notice that because we know how important to go and be there and give the aid in that time. It's very important. This is very important. This is how Kuwait aid is for us is very important. We pursue it and we're proud about it.
Well, honestly, I feel proud to be Kuwaiti. Just a follow-up question. So you're talking about helping countries build, but following the invasion of Kuwait also had to rebuild itself. So can you tell us more about how Kuwait was able to successfully rebuild the country, basically?
Yeah, after the invasion, which is a period I don't want to remind, I think, and I thank all the countries here, I think among them colleagues Saudi Arabia and the UK who worked so hard, and all the countries who helped Kuwait to be liberated. And I was a person who was inside Kuwait in that period, and I don't want to remember it, but really it's rebuilt very fast. Mm-hmm. And I remember maybe you were young in that time, you were born or not?
I wasn't born.
You weren't born, but I remember very well, we were, completely almost, when Saddam left, destroyed everything we have in front of my eyes. And I remember just to cry every day to see our oil and we don't see the rain. We see oil come down because what Saddam did in that time when he blew up our oil field, and see the destruction everywhere. But after almost 1 year, everything rebuilt. And that's why we said, we're proud. We have friends in the world. This is very important. This is very important to have friends in the world. Second, it's the good investment. The investment we have before our leaders, our father, when they invest very well in our resources, that gives us the ability to rebuild quickly and gives us the experience of rebuilding. And we know this experience now when we're having any rebuild conference or for post-war conference, we know what that means very well. We know it very well.
Before we wrap up the session, Your Excellency, I just wanted to share with you all my story about how I was able to connect with the ambassador. And for me, it was amazing, and I thank the ambassador for it. I even told you, Mr. Ambassador. So literally, all I had to do was call the Kuwaiti Embassy. They gave me your email, and then, not even your secretary replied back to me. You replied directly. You said, yeah, of course, I would love to come. I'd love to support you. So just thank you so much, Your Excellency. Your continued support for us Kuwaiti students and even, the Kuwaitis and Middle Easterns in general is something that's that I feel very proud of.
It's a
thank you
pleasure.
so much, Mr. Ambassador.
It's a pleasure for us. I'm telling you, we talked a lot about education, and when you contact me, and I know that you belong to this, important school, and to organize this event, and it will be difficult for me to say no. I have to say yes, support you, and I'm so proud when I enter. Also, I see lovely, students from all our area. Especially, I'm talking about. I'm very fanatic for our area, especially the Arabic and Middle East, and I saw the energy in the eyes of the kids, and remind me myself, and that's why I always want people to support us when I was young and we're studying, and it's a duty for me to come and support and to see and to tell Kuwait. I will report Kuwait about you, that you did a good job here and everybody, and thank you, Dr. for supervising you, and I think, Kuwait will be very proud. And I told you, if you, in the elevator when we come, finish and go to Kuwait.
Yeah.
They're waiting for you. So, everybody here noticed that because I heard something else in the elevator. I said, no, finish and come to Kuwait, because this is a message for our leader. They told me to tell every student, your leader said, finish your education and come back, because what I heard I will not report it. I will report that was it. They're coming. And thank you. Really, I'm very proud to be part of it, and I hope I can. If you have any question more, I'm ready to answer. But I'm telling you, this is very lovely opportunity to talk about our policy and our relation with the UK, and to support your work. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador, and we're looking forward.
Thank you.
Thank you.